Hello, hello, hello. It's your boy, the Beast One. Welcome to our live episode, everybody. We are live. You can get in the comments. We will see your comments. If it pertains to what we're talking about, then we definitely will bring it up. But, we're not, this ain't going to be shout out central or nothing like that. So make sure that, what you're talking about is what we're talking about and have a good time. I'll definitely say that again. But, like I said, this is our first live actual show. We got Sergeant Garret here with us. He is a drug and mental health specialist. He's also a negotiator if you get yourself in some trouble. So, call for him if you ever surrounded by the police. We also got my man Trey Wiz from the Just Us podcast hanging out with us as a guest host. So we're gonna have some fun, talk about some good things. Y'all know what it is. It's Dad Mentality.
What is that's mentality? What it is? The mentality of taking care of family. As a man, it get lonely. I can't even call my homies, but I answer every call when my kids call me. I'll be there when they need me. They depending on me. They looking up to me. Sometimes we gotta fix our mental. Or maybe it's not meant to be a dad, a father, that's what men do. I made a promise to my kids, that's what I do. I just want them to do things better than I do. Or better yet, better things that I did. What is that's mentality? What it is? The mentality of taking care of family. As a man, it get lonely. I can't even call my homies, but I answer every call when my kids call me. I'll be there when they need me. They depending on me. They looking up to me. Welcome to the show, shout out to the coach. And Maddie Ice Cold Crypto. And each one, teach one. That's mentality. We just try and reach one. What is that's mentality?
Hello. Once again, it's your boy, the Beast One. Welcome to Dad Mentality Podcast. As y'all know, I don't do it by myself. Unfortunately, Coach is not here with us. He has some personal issues to take care of today, but our prayers are always with him. But my man, 100 grand, y'all know him as the diversified hustler, also wealthy and blessed, guap chaser, Matty Ice Cold Crypto. What's up, Matty Ice? How you doing, brother?
Doing awesome. I'm happy to be here with you fellas tonight. How y'all doing?
Doing great.
Doing good, man.
Good. I'm excited.
Yeah.
We brought in some of the heavy hitters from seasons past to join us today. I got Sergeant Jamel Garret. I already told you he is a drug and mental health specialist, and he's always here. We always have a good time when he comes and joins us. Sergeant Garret, I'm glad you joined us today, brother.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me. It's always good to be back around y'all. We have a good time.
Oh, always. And we're going to do football picks too. So don't try to run away this time, even though you got it right one time before. We let that go, but also,
look, my Panthers we already got slaughtered. So I'm just saying, man.
Hey, well, I ain't gonna say nothing about the Commanders. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and my man from the Just Us podcast, Trey Wiz. How you doing, sir? Thank you for joining us again.
I'm good, Slim. I'm happy to be on here. Like whenever I can catch episodes on my downtime or on my break, when I do get a break at work, and I'm able to watch. I mean, I love to hear the positive conversations. Any space that I can get in that like has people that look like me, that's talking about something constructive, that's doing something positive for us, I'm down for it. So it doesn't matter what the conversation is. Doesn't really matter because I already know what the tone is going to be on your shows anyway. So it doesn't matter what y'all get into. I'm happy to be a part.
Excellent. I appreciate you coming and hanging out with us, brother. So we're gonna go ahead and get things started with our mental health check-in. Here at Dad Mentality, we believe that mental health is important. That hey, if you don't have somebody to talk to, you need to find somebody to talk to. Go to your local church, come call a friend, have that conversation, man, because it's important that we stay healthy mentally as men, and it's something that we should definitely be doing. So we're gonna start with our mental health check-in. I'm gonna let y'all go first, and me and Maddie Ice will finish it off. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with you, Sergeant Garret. Give us a rating from 0 to 10. How you feel? How was your week? And what you're looking forward to, and all that good stuff.
Man, look, I'm a solid 9. I would be a 9.5, but I didn't get as much sleep as I wanted last night. But I can't complain, man. I'm walking and talking. I'm on top of the ground. Every day I'm alive. I'm working to fulfill my purpose. I got healthy family, healthy kids. Good relationship with my wife. Can't complain. I'm good.
Okay. Excellent. So what about you, Trey? Well, how are you? 0 to 10.
Shoot. I mean, honestly, like I had that same answer last time, and I think I always will. Unless something negative or super positive is going on, I think I'll always stay at an 8. 8 to me is like you good. You don't have no worries. Nothing's on your back. You're not behind no bills or nothing. Nothing's out of order. You're content. You're not at a 5, so you still elevated. You still in a nice realm, but you just you chilling. You good. So I would consider it to be like a number 8 right now.
Okay. All right. Nothing you looking forward to coming up?
Anything that I'm looking forward to. Well, actually, I want to see my cousin, even though she just went to school. She only went like probably about a month ago. I would love to see her come back. I would love to hear about just her experience going to Hampton and just being in that environment.
Oh,
You know?
that's dope. That's
Yeah,
dope.
the
Yeah,
black college environment
Yeah,
is
the
Oh
dope,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
HBCU.
That's what it's about. That's what I'm saying. That's what it's about. So to go on a tour, I ain't gonna get all into that spiel, but to go on a little tour with her and go around and take pictures of like the Rosa Parks statue, Martin Luther King, and all that. That was a nice touch. Like that was pretty nice. So I'm excited to hear about some of that.
Excellent. All right. Matty Ace, how you feeling, man? How'd your week go this week?
I'm feeling pretty good, man. Pretty good. I'm at probably about 7.5 this week, man. Like just kind of medium, like feeling good, above average. But celebrated a birthday yesterday, man. So another trip around the sun, man. We didn't do too much, chill with the family, got some crabs, watched the games yesterday, and
Well, shit, happy
but
birthday, dog.
hey,
Yeah, happy
Happy
appreciate it,
birthday.
birthday.
appreciate it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
another year round. That's cool.
Yeah,
yes,
man.
sir.
That's celebratory.
Um,
Yes, sir.
You gonna
um,
start getting that pension or retirement now?
hey, I wish. I'm looking forward to it, but trying to put that thing in place as we speak.
Yeah, I
Setting
think.
for that
Yeah.
good retirement. But
Yeah.
just feeling good, man. Like I said, family's doing well. Daughters at work, back in school. Had a successful event this weekend at the store. Got some ideas and some things coming up for this fall season. So you're trying to put some things in motion, man. Keep it positive. But like again, about 7.5, man. All is well for the most part.
Trey
That's
Wiz,
fair.
Sergeant Gary, you live in the area, right? You from you in the DMV area, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm in Waldorf.
Uh, oh, okay, yeah. Matty Ice
I'm,
store,
I'm in Waldorf right now.
my
Ironically, I hear what
Matty
you're
Ice
saying.
store is in Temple Hills, Maryland. You want to go in there and get some merchandise on him. Just go ahead and set that up.
Okay.
Go in there,
Okay.
go ahead and let them know who it is. Get some of that wealthy and blessed and that
Yeah,
guap
definitely.
tasting merchandise. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
6375 Old Branch. Come check me out. You can
Yeah.
come down, man. Got some ice cream. Bring
Oh
the
shit,
family.
I'll
Bring the
roll out
kids.
there too.
Got
Yeah,
some
I'll
ice
roll out
cream.
there
Oh
too.
man, family love
yeah,
ice cream. I'm gonna ask for the
Oh
dad
yeah,
mentality discount too.
yeah. There you
yeah. Come
go.
on through.
That he got a strawberry cheesecake. That joint lit. He got a banana pudding ice cream. That joint lit. So
We all about
yeah.
black business in this family, so
That's
yeah,
right.
I'm down for that. That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, look forward to seeing y'all.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
let me go ahead and get into my check-in because my check-in's is pretty bittersweet. So I've talked freely on this podcast about my issues and anxiety with my abandonment issue. It's something that I found out about by going to therapy. Well, I didn't know how prominent it was to myself and my personality and who I am. So today, my son is leaving for the Air Force, and he's leaving to go. He's leaving. He goes to the hotel. He leaves actually tomorrow to go to the Air Force, going to Texas. He's going to go there and do basic, and then I think he has to go to school in Texas there for a while. He's a airplane mechanic. He's going there to be an airplane mechanic. Sergeant Garret, yeah, he was in the Air Force, right? So
I was.
it's good things for. I should be excited for him, or how you
Yeah,
feel?
man. So if he's going down to Lackland Air Force Base down in San Antonio, Texas, he's gonna be there for like 9 weeks. His last week where he graduates, y'all can go visit him. Uh,
Yeah. He
go
already
down there
bought
and
ticket.
yeah, go down there and see him. I promise you, you're gonna see a difference just in 9 weeks of him being gone, and the stuff that the military is gonna have him do. You're gonna be like, man, he's standing up straight. He walking with his shoulders back. He has purpose with his step. Man, it was amazing. I reflect back on my experience. I mean, this I went through back in 2003, so this is 21 years ago for me. But I reflect back on just the pride that my family had, and like it was a good feeling. It's gonna be an amazing feeling for you, and it's gonna feel real good for him.
Okay. Nah, I'm excited. We already bought our tickets. The whole family going there. Grandparents going. Everybody going.
Yep.
Plus, we're gonna make a dual trip out of it because we're gonna take my daughter because this is my daughter's senior year, and her top two schools that she's looking to go to is Baylor and Texas A&M. So
Okay.
when we go out there, we're gonna do a school visit. It's October 30th, I think, is his graduation. So we're gonna go out there for a week and also duel that in and take her to see those schools while we're out there. And then I got family out there and stuff like that, so we got a place to stay. So I'm excited about that. Shout out to Rob Pitts, he's been on the show. My brother, who's got like 5 baby mothers, but he's still my boy.
Dang.
Shout out to all
But you
them.
know, yeah, it's all of them. But anyway, so I had to really deal with my anxiety. Like as soon like this morning, I knew it because my wife said something to me, and I got pissed. And it was something very simple. You know what I'm saying? Something I could have just shrugged off or whatever the case may be. But I knew my anxiety was like really starting to get to me because today was the day he was leaving and this, that, and other. And usually that's what I do. I react and get angry or fight with people before they leave. That way I don't feel like they're leaving me. Like I'm like getting rid of them type thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, we'll forget you anyway, type situation when I'm really just want to hug them and tell them I love them and I'm going to miss them. But for myself, that's what I normally do. So I kind of felt that coming on, and I had to sit down, talk to myself, pray a little bit, get myself together, and then I went upstairs and talked to my wife and told her what was happening, and she understood. She kind of figured that it was gonna happen because we I discuss it freely now. Anyway, so I'm gonna say I'm about a 7. I'm excited about what he's going to get into, what he's going and doing, but it's my firstborn son, man. I love that little dude. You know what I'm saying? So it's a little tough and emotional for me, and even getting ready for the show, I really couldn't focus. I couldn't write my notes down the way I normally write the show and all that kind of stuff. And I was just like, man, hey, I'm just gonna make it through this show. So I still say I'm about a 7, 6.5. I got a lot of personal issues going on in the background from previous. I talked about it last week about my nephew getting locked up, the one that came to live with me and everything. I did get good news on that. So, good news compared to what I thought was going to happen. You know what I'm saying? So it's better news. I don't know if you would call it good or not, but so I'm happy. I'm happy for them. My other niece and them, they moved out. They look like they having a good time with their staying. They came through for a little bit. I say I'm about a 7. I'm getting better. I think after this week, once I really cope with my son being actually gone and all that kind of stuff, I'll probably get myself better and even get myself at a higher score. So that's my week. I'm trying to think anything I'm looking
I
forward
mean,
to
I'm glad you
besides
got
the
the
show.
capacity for it. So regardless, I'm glad you had the capacity to still be at a
Yeah.
6 or 7,
Well, I want to talk
despite
about that
a lot of.
too. I want to talk about that too as we get into the discussion. But
Mhm.
the first thing I want to talk about is the first thing I want to say is that today we're going to talk about depression and anxiety. So I wanted to give what was not mine, but I kind of watched a bunch of stuff, and And Sergeant Gary, you let me know if this is accurate. What I'm getting ready to say. Hey, depression is when you worry about things that happened in the past, and anxiety is when you're worrying about things that happen in the future.
I
Is
couldn't
that
have
like
said
a
that. Could not have said that better myself. I have a saying that I tell my clients that exact same thing. Depression lives in the past, anxiety lives in the future, but wellness lives in today. So you got to be present in today because today is where your power is. You ain't got no power in the past. You don't have any
Hmm.
power in the future yet because it hasn't happened. But your power is right here in this moment. So yeah, you spot
okay?
on, brother. You spot on.
All right. Now I feel that you go on Facebook, you go on everything. A lot of people are talking about mental health, and I do feel like even since I started this show and doing this show, that mental health, especially as men, has become less taboo. Like it used to be something that we couldn't talk about as men. I definitely I don't know if it's because I've started talking about it now. Other people who talk about it are like, I guess, joining me or coming into my atmosphere. You know what I'm saying? But I'm feeling like it's something that is being more discussed now. Now you've been doing this for over 20 years, correct?
Not quite
What
20, about
what?
the mental health piece I've been doing for 15 or
15. Okay.
6, 15 or 16, one of those.
Have you seen a change? Have you seen a
Absolutely,
change since?
absolutely, absolutely. So what I think what is going on in society is it's been normalized. Everything everything that is stigmatized is only stigmatized until people speak up. The more people that speak up, that stigma can't exist. So the more people that have been talking about it and just sharing their public experience, like yourself, is giving other people permission to say, "Yeah, me too. I'm going through that same thing." Um, and to take it back as a gender, as men, as males, I grew up in the '80s and '90s where it was culturally acceptable to you know you got something wrong, go punch something, go work out, go shoot some basketball, go throw some weight around. But that's really changing now, and as we learn more and more about mental health, and it's becoming more socialized rather than stigmatized. um, we as a society, as a community, are really able to have some of these hard conversations.
Okay. All right. Quick shout out to my wife. I guess she's watching off. She's saying she just dropped my son off. So, But yeah, so my next question is this. What does a what all right. I've started using the word emotionally healthy. Now, I don't know if that's the term that you use or whatever, but what does an emotionally healthy person look like? Or is that really a thing, or are you always working to be emotionally healthy?
So it's weird. It's a paradox. So the answer to both your questions is yes. Emotionally healthy people does, or emotional health does exist, and we are constantly working to be emotionally healthy people. It's not a destination; it's a journey. It's something that we're always working towards. But what that looks like is, I got one word: balance. Emotionally healthy person is a balanced person. You'll see that this person, they tend to be well rounded with being able to manage those difficult feelings, difficult emotions. They're happy when they're supposed to be happy. They're sad when they're supposed to be sad. They laugh when they're supposed to laugh. And they are reasonably good at being able to process those difficult feelings and not lash out and take it out on other people.
Okay. Trey Williams, you got anything you want to add, or any questions that you got? Or anything you
Well,
want to discuss?
he was already kind of saying what I was gonna say for the most part. It does show. I don't think that you can always. I mean, well, it does. Actually does reflect in your appearance, how you walk, how you interact, how you absorb and take in things, whether you internalize them or not. Pretty much like he was saying, a certain level of growth that you have, your maturity and understanding of yourself and your emotions, it doesn't allow you to really be taken back by things that don't matter. I mean, I feel like when you get to a certain level of being elevated with yourself, you aren't. you aren't swayed by external stuff as much. You understand what affects you. You understand what your ticks are, what bothers you. You understand what gets to you, or you know how to navigate. You've evolved enough within yourself to not be, So it does show. It does reflect. Um, I can't remember what your other question was about it. I remember you saying, whether it's a visible thing, whether you can see it on people. Oh, and then your other question was, are you working? Is it a thing that you have to work towards? It never stops. Life is always going to throw you
Yeah.
different hurdles, but it's your maturity and it's that time that you took to figure out and iron out your psyche that allows you to be able to glide smoother than other people.
Okay. What about you, Matty Ice? You got anything?
Yeah, no, I agree with that. You know what I mean? Being emotionally happy. I would say, especially depending on yourself, and certain things may affect you more than other things affect you. You know what I mean? And that can be seen, and it definitely can be noticed by those who are closest to you. But it's definitely something that's, I guess, you got to be aware of. I would say, because I guess being aware that it's kind of affecting your mood is the first step. Like, hey, why I'm feeling like this, you know what I mean? Then sometimes you can kind of zero in on what's going on, like what you're thinking about, like, and then you can weigh in on whether or not, you know what I mean. A lot of times after you start thinking about it, like, wow, mommy is feeling like this, you know what I mean? Because your brain get the, working on you, getting to worrying. But once you, like you say, come into the present, and get to thinking, sometimes you can come up with a solution, or you can kind of calm yourself down and, kind of realize that you're not in the mental state that you want to be in.
And
Um,
Maddie, look, you just did what a lot of therapists and a lot of people like me spend a lot of time trying to get clients to understand. What you just described is the foundation of something called cognitive behavioral therapy. $50 words for 5-cent concepts. So it's easy concepts. We do it all the time. You just described it. But look, I think Albert Ellis is he was a psychoanalyst. That was the guys who quote unquote created it. Had to throw these fancy words to make him, make himself seem like he's real smart. He came up with his new concept. It's something that we already do, but that's the importance of being able to understand how to respond to these situations in life. You just literally did it. You literally went over cognitive behavioral therapy right there when you were talking about how do you reprogram your mind, or at least how do you have awareness of your emotions? What's the next step with the awareness? Ask yourself the question, well, why am I feeling this way? Where is this emotion coming from? And then once you have that answer, you might not even have an answer to that, but what you or at least are able to figure out is, I know how I'm feeling or what my behaviors are not serving me right now. So I need to change something. Something got to change. Uh, Simple.
yeah.
Well, look, I say it's simple, but it's much easier in concept than in application.
Yeah,
It's
because
hard.
you might know it, but then it's sometimes changing the behavior again could be hard because you programmed in a certain type of way. So sometimes you
Yeah.
get
It
pulled back to the same behaviors and different
it's
things like that.
hard because
Yeah.
my wife said something very simple to me, and I wanted to start shooting shots everywhere. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like,
So
and
yeah.
I had to take that time to get myself. I was like, yo, what, like, come on, dog, keep it together. Come on, calm down. Cause I was like, yo, because I was like, did you really say that to me? And all she did was tell me to keep it down because her parents were coming in the house. That's all. She was like, hey, can you keep it down? My parents are getting ready to come in the house. I was like, the first thing I was like, this is my house. I do whatever the hell I want to do. What you mean? Now I'm gonna talk louder. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying?
Yeah.
You know,
So Beast, what you just described, and we all do this. Everybody does this. I'll share a story for myself when I did it with my wife. Um, but I ask people, what did your insecurity hear? Because our behaviors tend to respond to what our insecurity heard. And like, I'll give an example of myself. 2 years ago, my father-in-law passed away, and my wife and I, we had to get her down to Alabama real quick. And so she wanted to be gone for like a little over a month. The boys and I, we had to drive down after about like 2.5 weeks, and we were down there for 2.5 weeks. So basically, On the way back, we drove all the way back up. I was gone from the house for like 2.5, 3 weeks. She was gone for like a month or so. So she's happy to get home. You know, my bed, sleep in my bed. I'm happy. All this stuff. I left like a glass and a spoon in the sink, something like that, something small, right? She comes home and she's like, "Oh, there are dishes in the sink. Why is the house like this?" I'm pissed. I'm mad. I'm mad. I'm so mad. Look, I'm so mad. I had to go in the car and listen to music before I said something. I had to remove myself from the situation, right? And so once I got calm, I know my wife and I have really good communication. So once I calmed myself down, I was like, "Oh, I'm about to confront her, man. About to tell, like, look, how you gonna challenge me and say, like, you know, I didn't do a good enough job taking care of the house." So I get back in the house and I was like, "Hey, babe, you got a minute?" She like scrubbing the counter away, like I ain't cleaned up nothing while she was gone.
Oh, man.
She scrubbed
It
away. And
wasn't
she's
her
like,
clean.
right. But
Yeah.
I was like, look, it really made me feel some kind of way when you said I didn't take care of the house while you was gone. And like, this is the genius of my wife, right? She doing my own mental health tricks against me. This is what she did. This is what she said. She didn't argue. She didn't say nothing. She did say something, but she didn't argue. She said, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. When did I say that?" She never did. She never said that. That was that was what my insecurity heard. So I'm responding to my own insecurity, my own BS. That's what caused me to have that emotional reaction.
No, it's fact because but then you said it's a reaction. So it's it's what's called, man, a rational, uncontrollable response sometimes that we have. Like it's triggers that people say. So we're not responding to it. You're reacting to it. It's almost like a reflex. Like you don't even know, and it usually come from, you know what I'm saying, like you said, Rodney, like from insecurity. So it's not even what's happening in the moment that is triggering you to feel that type of way. You know what I'm saying? Like certain songs can come on the radio and it make you feel a certain type of way. The same thing, words people have, you know, behaviors that you see in your kids or other people may trigger insecurities you got in yourself sometimes, and that's why you get upset because you seeing stuff in them that you don't really like in yourself. So you get mad because you don't want them to do it. You know what I mean? Or you know what I mean? It's just a lot of stuff. Like sometimes when you kind of take that moment to think about it and kind of analyze yourself, you really figure out that it's us most of the time. I'm not saying because other people do things, but at the end of the day, you can't control what other people do. It's up to you how you decide to respond to what other people do, aside from somebody physically attacking you or doing something, you know, to you, you know what I mean? But the way somebody say something to you or feel, it's up to you how you respond to it. You can laugh it off if you choose to, but sometimes we choose violence. You know what I'm saying? You don't choose
They just
to
get
laugh it
crazy
off.
sometimes.
You know what I'm saying? So
absolutely, and I could. That's exactly what I wanted. Violence. I'm telling you. If I had sat to myself, I was about to be louder, start cursing, some more stuff. I was like,
you was aware of it though. So once you was aware of it, like how did you control it? Like you're like, oh, am I tripping? Like you guys, it's like again, it's just start with you being aware. Sometimes you're not aware. You ain't aware until the scene is over. And you like dang.
Nah, because I was on 100 though. That was how it got away. I was like, why am I so mad? I should not be this mad. Like I need to calm down. Like why? Why am I this mad? Because I was on 100. I was ready to turn on Jeezy, everything. Just be like, yo, you know what I'm saying? If they don't like it, they can leave. You know what I'm saying?
I pay the bills right here.
Yeah, they coming, but they all coming to me because they getting ready to take my son. So that's what I was really bothered about. You know what I'm saying? Not that, but just her being like, "Hey, can you keep it down?" I was like, "Hell no, I can't keep it down. I can do whatever the hell I want to do." Look whose name on this mortgage. Tell them they don't like it, they can go stay outside. I don't give a shit. You know, this is what I'm saying in my head. I ain't saying none of that.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, this is what I was thinking in my head, and I was like, why am I so upset? Let me calm down.
Good thing is you caught it though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
definitely
All right,
more
fellas. So
before.
we're gonna get ready to go. I'm gonna show y'all a video about something that I want to talk about next. Real quick. So I'm gonna pull that up. I did want to go quick shout out. Hey, to y'all who are watching us live, please, if you have any questions or comments that are pertaining to what we're talking about, put them in the comments. You know, I'm not gonna be doing shout outs in the middle of our conversation, but right now I'm gonna go ahead and say what's up to Philip Page and Melvin who's watching. My man, I appreciate y'all. If y'all got any questions or anything, throw them in and then I'll ask them. If you don't, you just want to hang out and chill, that's cool too. But anyway, so we're gonna get to this video. Hold on, I forgot what I was doing. Hold on. All right, so I'm getting new at this, so it might be a
Don't
little
worry about it. Don't worry
time
about it.
to it, but we got it. All right, so
I'll be watching them.
all
Be
right,
on
here you
point with
go.
that.
All right, let's get it to play. Hold on. Let's make sure it ain't muted too. There we go. All right.
Not Superman at all. Because the thing is, no knock to your analogy, Clark Kent is not that man's true identity. He actually is Superman in real life, and Clark Kent, who he got to pretend to be for everybody else. Big dog, you not Superman at all. Stop pretending to be more than human for these women, bro. Because that's why she denies your humanity in situations like you do train a woman like, but bro, when you show up with no emotions and you like, bro, I'm good, like I'm straight. No, I got it. She gonna get used to that. And she gonna think that in situations, even when you are under duress, even when you stressed out, that you got it. So she's gonna make a habit of not checking on you. Even if she do check on you, she's not going to investigate. I'm fine. I got it. She's not going to check your capacity because you've been guarding that from her, dog. For what? You know what I'm saying? Like, you denying your own humanity. And that's one thing I do gotta to jab men about. And like, Ace, you leaned into this. We can't keep talking about how women don't respect our emotions and make room for us if you gonna show up without the emotions, G. Fellas, regard.
All right. So, I mean, for me, when I watched that clip, I feel like that's something that I definitely suffer from in my not only with my relationship with my wife, but my relationship with my family. I feel like during this time, I've always hid my emotions. I've always held them back and not explained them to them or talked to people or talked to my family about it, not even my wife about my emotions for so long. You know, now that I've been through this journey coming on this show here, this, that, and the other, I talk about my emotions all the damn time, and I don't get the response that I'm hoping for because I feel like for so long I trained that. I trained that in them that they don't understand. They don't understand that emotion. I think that a lot of men do that. Sergeant Garret, how do you feel about that?
Yes, I think we as men are socialized. We've been socialized for a long time to do that. And you also have to look at vulnerability because to share your emotions requires you to have a certain level of vulnerability. There are certain environments where we as black men in America cannot show vulnerability. It could cost us our lives. So you really have to look at where did I learn to have this armor up? Brene Brown talks about having the armor. Where did I learn to wear this armor? You know, and then where did I learn to wear it? And then how can I start stripping it down piece by piece? Because the armor is no longer serving us. Oftentimes, we suffer more in our minds than we actually suffer in reality. So the fear that we have of talking about our emotions or our feelings, maybe being viewed as weak or the worst thing a man can feel, not man enough, emasculated. That's one of the worst things that a man could feel. And being able to overcome that, it requires a certain level of vulnerability that if you're not used to it, you definitely have to train it. You have to train it in yourself and practice it. Um, it ain't easy, and people will respond to you the way you allow them to respond. And
Okay,
so
when you say that, what does that mean? Can you
when
break that
we
that statement down?
when we keep our emotions inside out of fear of rejection or some kind of negative response from the other person, what like the guy was saying in the video, what we're training them to do is to not recognize us as emotional beings. They're if they're really in tune to their emotions, they'll understand that we are human, but they'll get frustrated because we don't share. And that's a good way to push someone away. And it's also a good way to be with someone who is, as the Bible says, not equally yoked with you. So your dysfunction will cause you to attract more dysfunction.
Okay. Okay. All right. Um, fellas, did y'all have what did y'all get out of the video, Trey? What did you get out of that video?
Well, I'm kind of caught up, and the reason why I say that because I'm a little younger than y'all. You know, born in '94. I'm 30 now. Okay, so I'm seeing. Okay, so to have my grandmother, right, and older generations around, to see structure, to see family units, to see the mom and dad in the house, even down to things we had as entertainment like the Cosby Show, Good Times, stuff like that, to show you the example of what you should have and what we used to have and what it used to be about for us. To nowadays, where um, he was saying that he was talking about like balance and he was saying, how can I say it? In today's time, men acting and pretending to be a certain way, the emotionless like type of energy that men have attracts modern day women. So as much as they may say, they want you to be transparent, they want you to be vulnerable, they want you to say this and say that. That's not always the case, and that's what I'm seeing firsthand. Not just online, what I'm
I
reading in
agree with
comments or videos I'm watching. They want the dude that yeah, I'm with the shits and I'm with this and I'm down and I don't cry and blah blah blah. And then the second he does, that's weaponized. So I'm
that.
trying to understand the middle ground of what the hell we're talking about with or what we're on. I mean, I think people should stand 10 toes down and what they think is right and just do it, and maybe a lot more will flourish and a lot more might come out the picture. But yeah, it's a problem for me when the same thing I see people complain about is the same thing I see them attracted to. So I'm kind of
So so you have to be careful with dysfunction. Two dysfunctional people tend to be drawn to each other because their dysfunction will feed off of that. So, like you were saying, in that situation where you have a young man who was taught not to show emotions or not to display emotions or anything like that. He hard, he anything like whatever,
yeah, whatever.
and
Yeah,
he's attracted, or the type of women that he attracts are the women who are attracted to that. But yet they say, "Hey, I want to be this idealized image of what I think a woman is or what I think a relationship should be." But their own dysfunction prevents them from actually reaching that because they're not taking the time to look inward and then basically fix themselves. They looking to fix other people.
Mhm.
I'll say
I'll
this
give
about
you that.
relation. Yeah, I'll say this about relationships. And this is any relationship, whether it be but actually, no, this is more romantic relationship because parent child is a different type of relationship. You got to make sure that child has everything they need. But with romantic relationships, the best thing that you can do for your partner is fix your dysfunction.
Okay.
Yeah,
Absolutely. I agree with you
Yeah.
on that.
that's right.
What about you, Matty Ice? What'd you get out of the video?
Um, I kind of agree with it because I would say everybody kind of maybe suffers from that at different extents, you know what I mean, as far as what you want to share, you know what I mean? Because sometimes you feel like you can handle it or you don't want to maybe burden or worry your significant other with things you think you can hold down. So I know I definitely have probably been guilty of that, you know what I mean, where I should, I feel like I communicate pretty well. I can talk to my wife about anything, but sometimes, you know what I mean, it's like you you know what I mean, for whatever reason you don't want to, you know what I mean, like put nothing else on them, you know what I mean. I'm sure at times they do the same thing. They might already think you dealing with enough, so they may not tell you about something that they think they can handle, you know what I'm saying. But again, like, you know what I mean, but when you feel it weighing on you, that's when you need to say something, you know what I mean, and kind of express yourself. But I think everybody does that to, you know what I mean, different levels, you know what I mean. And like you were saying, forgot what you was just saying a point when you first finished about like how it can affect yourself and affect your relationships and stuff when you are keeping that stuff inside. You know what I mean? So I think that video talks about most men, you know what I mean? Like,
I
and
think
it
so
do
too,
make
yeah.
sense though, like, because they only can meet you where you at, you know what I mean? So if they don't know nothing going on, but then sometimes you say, well, damn, she don't never do this and do that. Well, they don't know. Then if they do ask, we always like he said, I'm good. Okay, you
Yeah.
good? All right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Can
I
I
mean,
can I ask a question though?
go
Can I
ahead.
ask a question real quick? I don't want to interrupt, but I do
Well,
want to ask:
interrupt
have
if you got a question.
y'all
Go ahead. Go
ever?
ahead. It's all good.
Yeah, I wanted to ask though, have y'all ever turned or stopped yourself from displaying something? Because there's times, and this I'll say this personally, I'll say this in current day, like present day, that somebody like my aunt, for instance, she'll you not to put her out there, but she'll ask me what's wrong, or you know, or how was your day at work? Certain things that you might ask me. I mean, that's a lighthearted question. That's nothing. But certain things you might ask me if I know how you're going to respond, sometimes you don't need somebody to respond to certain, like you kind of can pre-calculate how they're going to respond to something that you may say. Like I don't want to say, oh, my day was rough or it was messed up, and you know, oh, it's okay, just knock it off, or it's nothing, or whatever.
Just pray
Have
about
y'all
it, baby.
ever
Just pray
stopped
about it.
yourself? Yeah,
Just pray about it,
exactly.
baby.
Yeah. Have you ever like stopped yourself from like saying something because you don't want their like the one you know what the response is going to be, so you stop yourself from even like saying it. Because most of the time I'll be like, "Oh, I'm good. It was a good day," just so I don't have to get into it being bad, and then you telling me it's nothing or whatever. But have y'all ever did that? Because that might be just
Yes.
something mental with me or something. Okay,
Nah.
all
I
right.
mean,
Nope.
yes. Yeah.
All the time. Do it all the time. So here's the thing. Like I was saying before, people will treat you kind of like how you train them to treat you, right? And so if you know the response you're gonna get, you're a human being. You operate off of this thing called operant condition. You've been conditioned to expect a certain response. And so if that response isn't the thing that you need to hear, or if it's something that you don't view as going to be beneficial, then yeah, it happens all the time. And I think
Yeah.
the way forward with that is twofold. One, make sure you're hearing people, not quick to give advice, just hear them, just listen. um, and then remember to have empathy. Empathy means I'm putting myself in your shoes. I'm not trying to fix your problem. I'm not trying to give you all the answers. I'm just putting myself in your shoes, experiencing what you're experiencing, and just allowing you to feel that emotion with you while you're, and this is the key, why, so you're not by yourself. You're not by yourself. You could be in a room full of people and be the loneliest person in the world if you feel like nobody understands you.
Mhm.
Yeah, absolutely. I do want to go back to another point you made earlier, Trey Wiz, and that was the talking about your emotion and people weaponizing it.
Yeah.
Because I feel that is a huge thing that a happens in a lot of relationships that I talk to people about, and and I'll be honest, it has happened in my relationship, and I even told my wife, I was like, that was the worst thing you could have did. Like
Yeah.
that right there is where you know it emotionally to a man. I'm just or myself personally, if I open up and express this feeling and these things that I'm having or I'm going through with you, and then you later on use it in an argument, then I'm going to stop talking to you. Like I
Yeah.
don't have no trust and I had to have this conversation with my daughter because I told her, I was like, because she was talking about a friend of hers, and I was like, yeah, that's the worst thing you could have did. You don't get angry and then tell them about their weaknesses, especially ones that they told you they're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? To me, that is the worst thing that you can do to crush a relationship. Because who wants to talk to a person that will attack them with it? You know what I'm saying? Why am I going to hand you the sword you're going to stab me with?
Yeah.
So, and
Yeah.
that, and that
Absolutely.
and that is a huge thing that I discuss with a lot of people. And even when we had my Paul and his wife on, we got into that discussion. And I mean, it's a big thing in relationships, no matter who the relationship's with, is that thing. Do you find, Sergeant Garrett, is that something that is common, not common, or how do you feel about that?
It is common. It is more common than it should be, but what you'll find when we're, because the question that I think we opened this whole thing up with was like, what does emotional health look like? Emotionally healthy people will realize that they don't need to do that. See, there's something you have to ask yourself. Do I want to be right, or do I want to be effective? The emotionally healthy person will choose, I want to be effective. Effective in communicating my point, effective in resolving whatever conflict I'm having with my partner. The non-emotionally intelligent person, oh, I'm gonna be right. I'm finna be right. I'm gonna win this argument. You ain't finna win this. And
Yeah.
that's where the weaponization of the feelings come up. So you've won the battle, but that war is over. You've just lost that war. You've nuked the war. Like it's over. Like
That's
using
what.
the analogy about armor, why would I take my armor off around you? You've proven to me that you're not trustworthy. So why would I ever take it off?
Yeah, absolutely. And that was one of the things. Yeah, that was definitely one of the things. Matty Ice, how you feel about that?
The same way, but then I also, I guess, to look at it from another angle, because sometimes we may think we know how someone is going to respond to what you're saying. You know what I mean? Because sometimes I get on my kids like, well, they think they already know what I'm going to say, like before they ask me. So that's maybe a reason why they don't ask me something. So the same time, like I guess that's why communication is key. Like it could just be us, you know what I mean, feeling a certain type of way, and the way we feel may not be true. You know what I mean, about how the person is going to respond. Sometimes you do got enough history with that person, but every situation is different. You know what I mean? So sometimes I would just say we got to check and make sure, you know what I mean? Like nobody likes rejection, but at the same time, sometimes I think we can create narratives in our own mind sometimes that may not be factual. You know what I'm saying? To what's really going on.
That's a great point. That is a great point. We have that's called irrational thinking. We have that all the time. What you have to discern, you have to have a good spirit of discernment. Do I think they're going to say something, or do I think I know the response that this person is going to have? Is that because of my own insecurity or my own fear of rejection, fear of abandonment? Or is it because I've been conditioned based off experiences of the past? So that's why, again, that person who's emotionally healthy, they will have that discernment within themselves where they can be like, you know what? I need to open up and be vulnerable about this, because oftentimes what's stopping me is my own fear, my own insecurity. That goes with saying that with accomplishing goals, we're like, you are your biggest obstacle oftentimes.
Yeah,
Now,
fact.
yeah, now the other side of that is when you are that, you have that skill, you have that ability to do that, and you're able to question that reality. Like, okay, is this because of me? Or, you know what? This person has shown me time and time again how they're going to respond. So, yeah, you got to have that spirit of discernment. That's a great point, Matty Ice.
Mhm.
All
True.
right. Uh, all right. Next question. Already put on about a yeah. So why do you feel that people feel that like they have to? Well, we already kind of talked about that. So I'm gonna go into something a little different about what I learned this summer, and even this thing and talking about this show and everything that we've done in my emotional growth. You know what I'm saying? My emotional growth, and I mean I already talked to you about it a little bit down, but I realized, one of the things that I've realized recently is that when I started this show and everything, I thought I had a reason for doing it, this, that, and the other. And I realized that God always had a plan for me. And that plan came into fruition because this summer was probably the hardest summer I've had in since like childhood, trying to deal with everything with my family, my niece and nephew coming in here, then my nephew getting locked up, all that kind of stuff under my watch, and this, that, and the other. And I'll be honest with you. If I hadn't grown emotionally, I think this summer would have destroyed my family, would have destroyed my marriage, would have destroyed a lot of things because I back then I wasn't emotionally healthy. You know what I'm saying? And even me dealing with the stuff now, and the time that I've talked to you, Sergeant Garrett, usually, the things that happened this summer, I would have got pissy drunk and probably went on some kind of rampage bender or some bullshit like that. And don't get me wrong, I did have a drink, but I didn't overdo it. You know what I'm saying? I knew what I wanted to stay away from. You know what I'm saying? I did want to go out and, have a drink and have a good time with my family, but I didn't want to get to the point where I was just binge drinking and passed out, whatever the case may be, acting like my problems won't be there tomorrow. So, you know, um, I just want to say to anybody else who's listening or going through something that, hey, man, God has a plan. Talk to somebody, find out what's going on, talk and get yourself right. So before I go into, we start talking about overcoming obstacles, I got another video which kind of sums up what I'm talking about. And, I want to, let's see if I can get it to start over. We were just going to start it from where it's at. Hold on. But this is okay. So this is a video of my friend. He's been on the show also. He was there for the Boys of Hope episode. His name is Eric Dorsey. And he does videos. If you follow him, he does a lot of inspirational videos and things like that. And I've started following him. I like his videos, and he's going to be something that I'm definitely going to start sharing. Sharing throughout our year this year. His tag is pointman_up. He is a ex Marine, so he's doing all that stuff. But just check it out. Let me know. We can talk about it afterwards. Oh, hold on, gotta unmute it, of course. I wish I could start it from the beginning, but hold on, we're gonna make it work.
We sit around and we're waiting for life or for things to move or for just anything to happen, to change, and we are that change. A lot of times we have stuff within our grasp that we're ignoring, and that's the next step in our life. That's the next, progression of our life, and it's right here in our reach, but we're looking for something else, something that's going to go, God, I want, $1 million to drop in my bank account, or I want, but you got a business idea that you've been slacking off on, or you got an actual business that maybe you've been slacking on the marketing on, or, you got 2 legs that are, semi-healthy, or you can get out there and you can walk those miles, but you refuse to, but you want good health, so in looking for change, man, look for that within your own self, look for the next step, it's all an uphill battle. It's all an uphill struggle. We're all going to go through these battles every single day, and we're going to go through these climbs. And really, man, it's not even about sitting at the top and, oh my God, man, I finally made it up here, man. It's all about the journey, man. Everest wouldn't be so great if it didn't take so much out of a man or out of a woman to get to the top. If we could just fly up there, then yay, it's just, another destination. I can pay and then go. But, nothing's going to change unless we change. So many times
that was the part I wanted y'all to
hear. Waiting for life.
The nothing's going to change unless we change part. So,
yep.
When it comes to overcoming obstacles and things like that, and when I even talk to a lot of my friends, I always start with that. Nothing, there's only, I always say there's only one person you can change. But before I get into my spiel, I'm gonna go ahead and ask you. I'm gonna go with Matty Ice. How'd you feel about the video? What'd you think about what he said?
No, I'm feeling everything he said about just opportunities that sometimes right there in front of you. Sometimes you looking elsewhere, but you just need to look within for real. You know what I mean? Like a lot of times the answers, we already got the answers. We already kind of know what to do, but we just gotta do the things we know we should do on a daily basis. Like you was saying, like if somebody trying to lose weight, they can get up to go for that walk in the morning, but we choose not to get up. We choose to stay in the bed. You can choose a lot of choices. You know what I mean? So, if you want things in your life to change, you got to change things in your life. You know what I mean? So, and also, it's always sayings. You know what I mean? The definition of insanity is keep doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. So, if we keep on, getting the same things out of life, sometimes we got to look at what we're doing. A lot of times we're repeating the same habit in some type of way. It's the same, it might be in different situations, different relationships, but it's something, that we may need to change within ourselves. So I definitely like what he said, man. I'm gonna have to give him a follow.
Yeah, definitely give him a follow. He got a lot more videos. We'll be going through them. I plan on bringing at least one of his videos a week, so we'll definitely be going through them. Trey, how do you feel? How did you feel?
Well, I feel like I love like Matty Ice was saying. I'm gonna give him a follow too. I'm gonna check out his profile because I love coming across uh things on the random. Like if I just decide to jump on Facebook or Instagram and my timeline is piled up with things that are motivational like that, because I feel like when you start to compile stuff, I feel like when you need a message, it'll come to you at that time. If you keep doing things to bring in that type of energy,
Yeah.
I feel like he was saying take the blinders off. He is obviously somebody motivational, so he's not gonna lead you astray, but be happy with and content, not content, I'm sorry, be happy with what you got and where you are. Don't be so focused on the big prize that you miss out on the fact that, hey, I am doing these things. For instance, like you have that mentality podcast, whatever you want to make out of it, whatever you want to branch off and do. Like some people might take something that they have, but it's whatever. But it's not, because the average person doesn't just sit around having a podcast, especially one with, some subject and substance behind it. So I just felt like I took it as take the blinders off, be appreciative of what you have and all that, you went through to get to that point,
There you go. Okay. All right, Sergeant Garrett.
So I put my clinical mental health therapist hat on. I love everything that he said, but I took it a step deeper and was like, well, why? Why do we have those blinders on, like Trey was talking about? And one cannot help but notice that procrastination, inaction, and distraction, those are things that keep us from accomplishing the goals that we want. Why? Where does that come from? Did you know that procrastination is considered a maladaptive coping strategy? I say
That's a big
maladaptive,
word.
yeah, because maladaptive means is not helpful to me. It's something that hurts me.
Okay.
But I view it as something to protect me. Well, why? Well, because if I never try, I won't fail. Versus I try and I fail. And so I think that, you know, my man is spot on about changing yourself. Man, change yourself, you change the world. Um, One of my favorite songs, is, at least as far as lyrics, is "Man in the Mirror" by Michael Jackson. And I didn't really appreciate that till I was an adult. It's like, that's a real powerful song. That's then
Absolutely.
it's that same concept of looking in the mirror, changing
Great
yourself.
analogy.
Yeah.
Yeah, great analogy.
Yeah. And then, I'm gonna go back to you, Rodney, talking about this podcast. You walked within your purpose. You were given a vision, you were a man of faith. So I can talk like this. God gave you a vision and you were obedient to that vision. Because you were obedient to that vision, he led you to wellness. So even though you've had these things that happened to you over the summer, where would you have been without being obedient? Because over the
Uh,
course of your journey, you've learned so much and you're stronger because of it. Your family is stronger because of it. You were accomplishing everything that you set out to accomplish. I don't even think you realize it. You were making your family stronger because you are addressing your mental health.
yeah, absolutely. And I mean, trust me, I would have been divorced 100%. I can promise you that.
Yeah.
I 100% would have been divorced. That would have been it. And I probably would have, my kids, whatever, been gone. I probably would be somewhere drunk somewhere right now. I wouldn't be doing the show. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And it was tough. And even when we took the break, I thought I was taking a break for someone else. You know what I'm saying? I was like, all right, we're just gonna take the summer off. You know what I'm saying? I was like, we'll just take the summer off, blah, 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 this, that, and the other. And then next thing you know, shit, I needed that summer off. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't for no one else but me. So, and just getting that stuff straight and even having the time and mental conflict. Because, I mean, when things went off in my situation, it affected my whole family. It really did. And I had the emotional awareness not to react. When my daughter lashed out, I didn't react. When my wife lashed out, I didn't react. The old Rodney would have been flipping off, busting walls open, and running away from the house, getting drunk, whatever the case may be. And me, I was just like, I understand. I accept how you feel, and it's okay. Let it out. Like, let it out. And then we can talk about it later. You know what I'm saying? We can but we do have to talk about it later. I did tell him that. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let you vent. I'm gonna let you get all these emotions out because I understand that it's important for them to come out. But that wasn't me a year ago. Damn sure wasn't me. You know what I'm saying? And it trust me, it was a tough time. But I still feel blessed because I'm gonna say this. I still want you, like you said, God is in control. And even I told my wife that stuff too. I was like, yeah, I can't see. I have no idea why this is happening. You know what I'm saying? And but God did tell me I would not see the fruit. And I didn't understand it when it was told to me. But now I do. You know what I'm saying? Now I do, but the fact of the matter is that, trust me, this road is great for anyone. And I encourage anyone to go on it, whether you're a God-fearing man or not. That road of getting yourself mentally healthy is a journey that the only person you're hurting is yourself by not going on it. And it is tough. It's tough. It's filled with all kinds of challenges or this, that, and the other. Because, I also feel like, the devil don't want that to happen. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, and if you don't believe in God, I mean, society don't want that to happen. How about that? You know what I'm saying? We are not, I feel like the greatest fear in society is to have healthy Black men. Emotionally healthy Black men would be a game changer. You know what I'm saying? Imagine if we had one Martin Luther King. Imagine if we had 500 of them. You know what I'm saying? Imagine if we had all these people who are not, chasing the Nicki Minaj's, Cardi B's, or whatever the case may be, and building strong families. You know what I'm saying? And not falling into all these what I call, basically bullshit. And the thing about it is then you raise strong kids, they become healthy and become stronger. That is nothing. There's nothing negative out of it, but it really does start with us. And I feel like the society and everything, that's their goal, not to make that, not to allow that to happen.
Well, there is something negative. There is something negative that comes with that. We won't see the negativity, but society will see the negativity because what they'll find is society profits off of our dysfunction. Okay. Look at the prison industrial complex. You know what I'm saying? Look at the drug laws. Although the drug laws are changing now, there's a lot of recognition of that and how that needs to change. Still ain't far enough, but it is changing. But look at politics. Politics it's designed to do nothing but deceive you. Look at consumerism. Look at like right now on my screen. If I were to move this down, I would probably have an ad from Amazon that wants me to buy something. And so society profits off that. And then what is the foundation of every commercial? The foundation of every commercial is you suck or your life sucks. You need my product to be better. That's pretty
Yep.
much the foundational belief. So all of that, if we internalize it, that creates profit for people who don't mean us no good. They just want my money. They don't want my health. So yeah, there is a negative to those people. There's a reason why it is designed the way it's designed. And keep in mind, it's not designed this way by accident. Systems are working exactly how they were designed to work.
Okay.
Yeah.
Matty Ice, you got anything?
Nah, I agree with those points right there. Especially what he said at the end. It's working the way it's designed to work. It's programming. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Right.
I would say, I mean, just like Matty Ice was saying, when what he said towards the end about, um, what he said towards the end. My bad, I got a little distracted. I was looking around. But how can I say it? Um, I agree. I don't really need to really add to that. I agree with what he was talking about.
Okay. Well, another thing, that I want to talk about is the so overcoming obstacles. And it so Sergeant Garrett, is that what do you find is the most common mistakes that people make when it's time to overcome obstacles?
They focus on the wrong things. They focus on a goal that's like either really far away or something that will take time to achieve, but they don't allow themselves the time to achieve it. They fall into the instant gratification trap. And they instead of they focus on the outcome rather than the process. There we go. That's a good way of putting it. They focus on the outcome. How can I get to this outcome instead of looking at the day-to-day process? You keep doing the right things, eventually is the result is going to happen.
Right. That goes back to when he said one step at a time. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? You can only focus instead of focusing on, like he said, climbing Mount Everest. Instead of focusing on trying to get the top of Mount Everest, focus on just your next step. And then once you get through that step, focus on the next step.
Mm-hmm.
And and then eventually, if you keep on doing that, you're going to get to the top no matter what. And that's one of the things that he brought up, and I kind of agree with that. Shit, I forgot my question.
Yeah, you can't
But
try to change everything in one day. Like what I mean, some people say try to be 1% better a day. You know what I mean? You can't try to conquer all your problems or your habits that what I mean, or ways of thinking that you've been doing for years. You can't expect it to change overnight. It's just it's a gradual process. It's like an exercise almost. So
Yeah. There's a great book that explains that same point. It's called Atomic Habits by James Clear. It's a great book. It literally talks about being 1% better every day, focusing on having a good process that will make you 1% better. And he uses several stories from sports teams about how instead of trying to win the gold or whatever, they just focus on little things. They just focused on improving the time by like 5 seconds or something like that, and how that put them or led them on the down the path of success.
yeah, it's another book that's great about that. It's called The Compound Effect. Can't think of the
Oh
author, but
yeah, I heard about that.
it's a very easy read, but it talks about how the compounding of negative or positive habits, something that you do over time for a long period of time, how it adds up. You know what I mean? Whether it's just if you're doing small things every day, taking that walk, doing X, Y, and Z, those things add up over time. The same thing if we're doing negative habits every day, those things begin to add up. So it just, it just shows you how you can use something very small to start off with, like compound interest. Just start off with you, what you can do. You know what I mean? If you just starting to work out, don't try to go run a marathon the first day. You might just walk a block. You know what I mean? Then the next week you may take it up to 2 blocks, a block and a half. Like do something so you get those small wins. You know what I mean? Because it's mostly mental. So sometimes you gotta get those small wins in first to give yourself a little bit of motivation. You know what I mean? And then over time, it begins to add up. Those small steps, those small things in life. It's usually the small things in life, not even the big things. You know what I mean? It's usually the small
Oh
things.
yeah. Yeah, and the problem with focusing on the big things, the problem with focusing on your destination, once you reach it, now what? What do you do now? Or instead, if you focus on a process of, say, excellence, you're focusing on your process day to day, and that's just going to lead you to being more and more successful in whatever it is
Yeah,
you do. And in fact, I'm gonna throw out my man Rodney here. He just gave us a good example of this. He just gave us a good example of this by continuing to stick with the podcast, continuing to do the things that he was led to do, continuing to really do the work to build himself up and work towards that emotional health. He didn't even realize he was doing that, but when he needed it was right there.
Yeah,
yeah.
100% true. 100% true. So and the worst part is God has already revealed to me what's next, and I'm scared to death.
Yep.
So
Look, I'm right there with you. Look, my wife called. She listened to a podcast where they called them divine whispers or something. I've had a few of those, and I'm like, oh Lord, is this? Do I got to do this? But I got to be obedient.
I'm trying to make it through this first. So, but it's all good. Trey, you got anything to add? You good? I got
What was that initial question? Because I'm listening to them and I'm also observing my surroundings at the same time. I'm listening in detail, but I want you to ask me the question again so I can ask you like straight to the
Nah, we
question.
was just talking about overcoming obstacles, taking it one step at a time.
Oh yeah,
Just going off the video
yeah,
thing, man. You're not
I think
safe.
that.
You can drive somewhere else, dog.
Yeah.
You
Oh
good,
no
man.
no no!
We
I'm good, but I'm observing. My head is on swivel. That's why I've never been caught up
hey,
because I'm
man.
always looking around.
Hey,
You
man,
can
you
be
don't
good.
ward off. You
I'm
don't
in
ward
war
off.
dog,
You
so I
good.
ain't.
I mean,
I'm good
yeah.
where I'm
Hold
sitting
on.
at.
Stop making it seem like my
Hey,
town full of crime.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Hey,
that
I
one.
mean, on Newsbreak, I don't know. Newsbreak be popping off more than the news do, so I
hey,
don't know.
Charles
But
County is now the richest black county, man.
That's right.
yeah, I
Wakanda
mean,
forever.
yeah, forever, Slim.
Wakanda forever.
No, but I would say one of the things for real is um that I would say maybe is a tip towards being able to overcome obstacles is, and one of my biggest things, I'll speak for myself, is people that are significant to you, and this has been a thing for me. I could give two shits, not to be cussing excessively, but I can give two shits about someone's opinion that doesn't have a significant impact on my life. So if you're not like my mother, you're not my grandmother, if you just somebody, some boo boo the fool on the corner, you can't tell me too much about my movements and sway me or make me feel away. But looking at those that do have that impact, you still need to be able to pull back from that and stand 10 toes down in your own decisions, because too many opinions can also sway you and have you doubting yourself, doubting your movements, because everybody that you're asking, no matter what circle they're in, they're not always going to be full and like in full support of what it is you're trying to do. So you might have people say, oh, why you want to do that? Or why you going that way? I don't think that's going to be good for you, or whatever it may be. But getting caught up between too many different opinions, being able to draw back and look at the scenario and analyze it and be able to make a for sure decision with like whether it goes left or not, you can stand 10 toes in and be sure about and be okay with there being like the outcome not coming out the way you want it to. So I would say like have standing 10 toes down in your own opinion so that that even though you've considered all opinions from the people around you, you able to still take that and separate it and make your own decision. If that makes sense to everybody.
Hey, dog, let me tell you something, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. Now you hit me in my heart when you said that. I'm gonna go ahead and air this out too. And I don't feel like look, man. My wife knows when I come on this show, for me to be who I am, I gotta be completely like honest. You know what I'm saying? And trust me, when I went through this shit this summer, the hardest thing was looking at my wife, and she is livid about the situation. I look at her and say, God told me to do it. And and have her look at me and just like she wants to rip my throat out. You know what I'm saying? And stand on that. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I gotta stand on it. Like I got to. I don't know what else to tell you. You know what I'm saying? Like this is first of all, this is crazy for me. I don't want this either. I didn't ask for none of this shit. You know what I'm saying? But I'm still gonna stand on the fact that God told me to do it. So I don't know what's going to happen at the end of this. I'm still in it. I'm like Jonah in the whale. Like, you know, like, but not that because that was actually a punishment. So I'll take that back.
What you mean. Yeah,
I'm like, you know, Daniel in the lion's den. You know what I'm saying? He's standing on it. Now I'm in the lion's den. Like, hold on, dog. Like, yo, you know, hey, there's a lot of lions in here. You sure you got me, dog? You know, that lion was my wife.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I had to stand there and face her and just and say like yo, like all I can tell you is, you know, but it wasn't like I didn't tell her before. We just didn't expect what happened to happen. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like I never, you know, she knew that we was doing this because that was where I was led to do. You know what I'm saying? So but still, to stand there in that lion's den with my wife was tough because I wanted to run too. I was like, good, I'm ready to go too. Let's go, you know, in my head. But I was like, nah, this is what we got to do. We got to make it through. We got to see it to the end. You know what I'm saying? We got to see it to the end. And it was tough. It was really tough. So, you know, but anyway, like you're saying, yeah, you got to stand. You got to stand there. If it's truly what it is that you're trying to do, this, that, and the other, you're going to have that person, like you're trying to start your own business. You're going to have the government come in and say, oh, this is the problem. You can't do this. You can't do that. Or licensing or whatever the case may be. If you start walking, you know what I'm saying? You're going to have that day where you just don't feel like getting up. You're not going to want to do this. You're not going to want to go there. And then you said, oh, well, I told my boy, we're going to walk this hill. I hate that hill. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about all that. Anything you set out to do is going to be difficult, you know, and you have to stand in it in order to really do it. But once you take the steps to make it time by time, now, like I said, my niece and nephew, all my niece is gone. All the kids are gone. We're back in the house together. It's good. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's good. Now we're working on healing each other. Now we're working on this stuff. But when we was in the thick of it, dog, I'm telling you, son, you know what I'm saying? I would have rather been in those biblical days or, you know, marching with Malcolm X or something like that than to have to deal with my wife. That shit was brutal, son. Brutal.
Yeah. But you know, in order for you to do that, in order for you to do that, you had to be so secure in yourself and in your belief and in your convictions. Those are core values. You know, you got to be able to stand in that, even when the world is telling you no. You got to be able to, you know, stand rooted in what you have been told. And if that's what you've been told, that's what you got to be obedient to. Even looking at this, you know, not so much from the lens of faith, but through just the lens of, you know, making that healthy behavior change. Not everybody may be for you. They may not have the vision that you have. And so being able to have boundaries with people is important. And then being able to just, again, be so secure in yourself and your convictions, you know why you're doing what you're doing. Other people might not know, but you know. And if you know what you're doing is for the right reason, it's all gonna work out. Who am I to argue? Who am I to argue with you? You the one that got the vision, not me.
I keep on feeling like Trey's in a bad horror film and he's gonna get snatched out that car at any moment. I keep on seeing him to the side.
I'm not scared. I'm just not playing with nobody. Don't make me lean up under this seat.
That might be good. That'd be good for views. He gets.
I'm gonna lean up under the seat. So it ain't about that. Nah, I'm
man.
good.
Every time his neck snap real quick, I'm like, oh shit.
No, because I'm coming out the water to see a friend that stays out here, whatever. So the homies are inside, so they looking out the window, wonder what I'm doing. And you got cars, it's like some parking and some people rolling by and all that. It's
Yeah,
just
it's
me
all good.
paying attention. Yeah,
Hey,
I'm
I'm
good.
proud. This is a live show. You know, even though people didn't send no comments, I'm kind of upset about that because we had people watching this whole time. I would love for your own questions in here to ask and ask the panel and have that discussion. But you know, we'll grow it in time. But you know, it's good. I do want to. So, fellas, I'm gonna go ahead and because I don't want the show to be forever. We still have to do our NFL picks. I do want to show this video because I was supposed to show it last week. This is another Eric Dorsey video. I'll be honest, I don't really remember if it contains completely what we are, but I still wanted to show it because I was supposed to show it last week and I had technical difficulties. And then after that, we'll get ready and do our NFL picks. Trey, you an NFL fan? Yeah, maybe a little
Nah,
bit.
I was always raised on. I hate to say it. I hate to say it. My best friend is Redskins, but I was always raised on Dallas Cowboys. So my dad had the
Hold
white
on. I have
tree
to
and
mute you
everything.
now. I have to mute you. You're not allowed to talk on here. All right. So anyway, you know, I'm gonna show this video. I'm gonna show this video real quick. He's in here.
All right,
I got excited. My bad. Destiny, what's up, girl? How you doing? She said
that's
she's
to
been
me.
commenting on Facebook the whole time. I guess I'm not getting it. Yeah, if you do comments, I think if you do comments on my personal page, it doesn't show up. You have to do it on Damn Mentality, maybe. I didn't see any comments. I just
Nah, because if you, as long as your StreamYard is linked to it, they can comment. I know
that's
when I'm
linked.
on like recent. Oh, okay.
Oh,
Because I
well,
know
hold
when
on.
I'm on
Now the
recent.
Dad Mentality one is the one that's faded out up top. I don't know. It's weird. Maybe
If
I
it's
didn't do
faded
something
out, then
right.
that means it's not. Yeah, it's not linked to it. But
Maybe I did something wrong, so I apologize. But yeah, I wish. But I'll see him later. Destiny, thank you for being there. But we're
I
gonna
know we
go
saw
ahead
that
and
first one from Vicky popped up.
yeah, I
one
saw
did
that.
come up.
Yeah, I saw that. There you go. There go Destiny right there.
Yeah.
She said she
what's
been
up,
what you call it.
Destiny?
I didn't get to see it. So, but hey, so we're gonna go to Eric and show this, and then she said, here y'all go. I'm gonna show that. Yeah. So we're gonna go to Eric real quick, and then we're gonna do our football picks. Destiny, if you want to join us in the football picks, help Trey, because Trey's gonna get my vote. So y'all get the 3 people here because I mean, you can't do worse than. Well, actually, this week we were set to win if we did not pick the Commanders.
I know, man. That hurt.
But we will let that go. But hold on, I'm gonna show this real quick, and then we'll go from there. You know what I'm saying? Good times.
Yeah, thanks, Destiny, for the compliment on the panel.
Morning. Heard somebody, a couple people, man. My man David in the Bible slayed Goliath when he was a kid, killed a lion, killed a bear when he was a shepherd. You know, same dude that had his servants, his fellow, warrior killed Uriah because he slept with his wife. His sons turned up against each other, killed each other, raped his daughter, all that kind of stuff. He lost the kingdom, and say, hey, look at all the mistakes that he made. Don't be like him, or, this and that. Mistakes make a man. While we're in the arena, sitting there looking at him, reading his story, eating, smacking, debating. He was a warrior, killed his tens of thousands, went to battle many a times, did things that he wasn't supposed to do, did things that he was supposed to do.
All right, hold on. So there's the second part, sorry.
Went to battle many a times, did things that he wasn't supposed to do, did things that he was supposed to do. But at the end of the day, we're reading about him a couple thousand years later. His name is forever ingrained in our mind. Even if you aren't a Christian, you never read the Bible, you know the story of David. Made me think, man, I don't want to be the dude sitting back with a biscuit in my hand and a drink, debating on somebody else's mistakes and in their life. I want to be the dude down there in the arena getting dirty, fighting. I want to be the guy that people talk about thousands of years later, saying that this dude right here is a man after God's own heart. I fight, I lose, either way, I get back up, put my sword up, keep on swinging. You should do the same thing. God bless. Take care.
All right.
Keep
All right.
swinging.
Why is it still playing? Y'all hear that, or is that just me?
Nice.
Nah.
All right. Hold
Think
on.
that's
He's
just
still
you.
playing in my head.
Oh,
right,
look,
but
we got to
anyway, we're
work
gonna
on
keep
your
it
mental
going.
health, man. You hearing things?
Nah, this dude is still playing. I
Man,
ain't
work
lying.
on it. We got
Hey, I can
terminology
hear
for that. We
y'all,
can
but I
help
gotta
you.
get him out of here. Hold on. But nah, we're gonna get ready to get into these fantasy picks real quick. And hold on. I'm gonna figure this. I gotta go. It might man. He's not even on my screen. How the hell?
You got, I don't know.
Don't
I know
worry,
you
I'm gonna
closed that.
fix it. I'm sorry. Give me real quick. I'm gonna go to
No, we don't
audio.
hear it. So whatever you hear, it's not on your stream. It's not interrupting your stream. So you figure it out. You good. But it's not on your stream. It ain't messing nothing up.
Okay. All right.
Man, somebody getting arrested. You talking about Sergeant, you talking about Waldorf all good. Somebody out here getting arrested. Right here on I can't show y'all because I ain't gonna
Somebody
see
get
shit all the way across the way. But somebody right
there.
over
We
there
show
in
that.
front of them getting locked up. Man,
Look,
we out here
All
talking
right.
mental health.
So
And,
go ahead and show them that. I'm gonna drop out and come back in because I gotta get rid of this. Hold on. I
yeah,
can't
no
focus.
problem. Yeah, I feel
look,
you on that.
sometimes folks don't do right even in the good parts of town. Folks don't do right.
Oh no, it don't matter where you at.
It
Gated
never will.
community or not, something popping
Yep,
off somewhere, trust me.
yep,
So it ain't no
always.
thing. But I appreciate this space regardless. Like I said, I'm happy to jump on any platform I can
It's
see
my
brothers that look
computer.
like me talking about something. Is it
Yeah.
good now?
Nah, it's in my computer. Can you hear me?
Oh,
Say something. All
yeah.
right, I had to.
I can,
Yeah, I don't know. Something it glitched in my computer. I just cut
it
the
just be like
volume
that.
off in my computer because when I left here, it was still playing. So anyway, I'm
Yeah,
good now. I cut the volume
that's
down
what's
on my
up.
computer. It's good. So I got some stuff working. It's all right. Hey, I appreciate y'all so far. Thanks for the conversation. I think we can definitely talk about more of this stuff again.
Oh
But
yeah.
but for my live show, what I don't want to do is have my live show going 4, 5, 6, 7 hours. So I want to make sure that we keep it under control where it can be digested. Because when people see things, 2.5, 3 hours, they like, yeah, I'm not watching that. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna go
Well,
ahead and keep it.
luckily Reels started to be a thing like on Facebook and all that. So cutting down and you know, and cutting out the good parts or whatever you want to do to still capture people's attention because attention spans are short as hell nowadays. So I know
Yeah, they
exactly
are.
what you mean on that. Yeah. So trust me, I know what you mean on that.
All right, so we're gonna do our picks this week. I'm thankful that coach is not here because he always want to make the picks difficult. I will not do that. I'm going to try to find the easiest games we can do to try to get my money. So we're gonna next week, that one I was we'll go. Hold on, let's see what who's playing, who Carolina playing. I'm gonna go ahead and pick
The
that.
Chargers. They're playing the Chargers.
All right, Carolina versus the Chargers. Where's it at? All right, Carolina Chargers. Okay, Carolina is a 7-point. They got +7 for Carolina. So, but we only do the money line. So the points don't matter, but they're just saying how much the Chargers should be whooping the Panthers this week. So we'll go ahead and start with Sergeant Garrett. How do you feel about this?
Look, right, wrong, or indifferent. I'm gonna go with my team. Right, wrong, or indifferent.
All right. Well, some people, this is my money. I don't want to lose it. So we're gonna go ahead. Matty Ice.
I'm going
How
with
do you feel?
I'm going with the Chargers unless Carolina do something different than what they was looking like last weekend.
Whew,
But
yeah, they looked a hot mess.
All right, Trey Wiz.
You
So the
can't
way
add,
the way it works,
listen, I was
huh?
gonna say thank you, thank you. No,
So the
you
way
doing it.
this
You already
works,
know what to do.
the way this works is the people say that the Carolina Panthers are going to lose by at least 7 points. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now the points don't matter. I just want to know who's going to win and who's going to lose.
Shit, I feel like it's gonna be the Panthers. People like
Panthers are going to lose
people
or they're
can.
going to win? Which
No,
one?
they're gonna. I feel like they're gonna win. Everybody puts their. I don't know, cause just watching people play like football pool and all that, and watching people like pick on something because of pick on the team or and think they're gonna win off a team because of how it's going or what it's looking like and all
Mm-hmm.
that, and it just be totally left. So North Carolina.
You got North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you're saying?
Yep.
All right, don't worry. I picked the Chargers. We're going to keep it going. So anyway. So anyway, we'll go next to the next team. Okay. Yeah. Destiny said the Chargers. We're going to take her. She said she heard of the Chargers at least. So at least she heard of them. All right, so we're gonna go Kansas City, the Super Bowl champions against the Cincinnati Bengals.
Who up? I'm going the Chiefs. Where they at? Like who?
They are playing at Kansas City.
I'm going to
to
take
Chiefs.
KC.
Kansas City?
Yes, sir.
All right, that sounds like an easy one. Okay, we'll go ahead and pick Kansas City. All right, I'm gonna try to make it a little bit more difficult.
The Bengals have been able to get those. That's been one of the teams who've been able to beat KC though over the last couple years. But I think Kansas City hot. I don't think they losing too many games this year.
All right, we got I'm trying to make it a little bit more difficult now and pick a game. We got the Saints versus the Cowboys. At the Cowboys.
The Cowboys.
I picked that one just for you.
Yeah,
Cowboys are set to
Thank
win.
you. Look at you being supportive and shit. That's what I like.
Cowboys are set to win.
I'm gonna go with the Cowboys. Saints did look better than I thought they was last weekend.
They did look pretty good last weekend too.
They was playing Carolina though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true. Destiny said Cowboys. What about you, Sergeant Garrett?
Yeah, they're playing in Dallas, and yeah, I'm gonna go with the Cowboys.
All right. I'm going hitting buttons that I ain't trying to hit. I went out of the thing. So all right. Destiny also said, oh, she said because she likes the cheerleaders. All right. I guess that's what we're choosing now. That's how desperate we are. Hold on. All right, last but not least, we got the Redskins, the Commanders versus the Giants. And the Commanders are predicted to win.
Oh no.
By 3 points, which after last week,
and they at home
I feel like I might bet against them the whole season, every game.
Yeah, I was actually gonna say I think I'm gonna go with the Giants on this one.
The Giants look worse than we did last week. They got smoked too.
I ain't watching.
The Giants got smoked. Like they lost by more than we lost. We lost by 17. They lost by like 20 something. But I'm going with the Commanders.
All right.
Daniel Jones looking terrible. He always look good against.
You said who? The Giants?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Giants. Just to be an antagonist. That's why. Just to be an antagonist.
I don't know where Trey Wiz went. I think he ran off. He
I
might have got kidnapped.
I ain't run off. I cut my camera because unless you want to see me walking through the motel and shit, you know.
Nah, you good. Commanders. Destiny said the Commanders, so we're gonna go ahead and go with the Commanders.
Well,
I think
watch Destiny get everything right.
Cool.
Hope
so.
Oh,
I think that's full.
Hold on. Yeah, somehow I got something else in here. So I got.
You got Chargers,
Cowboys.
I
got Chargers, Cowboys,
Commanders,
and Commanders. Yeah.
Oh, Kansas City.
All right. Let's see. I'm gonna go with a closer game. The Steelers versus the Broncos. That's a 3-point game. Oh, you know what? Nah.
Yeah.
Forget that. We're gonna mess with Coach on this one. The Colts versus the Packers.
That should be a good one right there.
Yeah, they got the Colts
Yeah.
They got the Colts to win by 4 points. So the Colts versus the Packers.
I can see that.
We waiting on you, Destiny. Colts and Packers. Who you got?
Oh, yeah.
Said Packers, I think. All right. The Packers are set to lose, but we'll go ahead. Who else? What y'all think? Colts or Packers? Come on. Matty Ice and Sergeant Garrett.
I'm gonna go with the Colts.
All right. You make that decision, Matty Ice.
Yeah, that's a tough joint. I'm Packers just lost. They got some time off. Huh.
You know, Coach gonna say, "Oh, love is great." Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
No, just another. All right, I'm gonna pick the Packers. I'm gonna pick the Packers because of Coach.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. I don't want him to, just because he's not here this week, I don't want him to think we don't listen to him, even though we don't. Hold on, so I still got one. Oh, I gotta hold on. What that Cowboys game at? Let me put it on here so I can see what we possibly winning this week. All right, we picked the Cowboys, right?
Yeah.
All right, so a 5-game parlay. If we win this, we will win $188 on my $20 bet. So we will see. Because right now I think I'm down like 1,000 from last season. And
yeah, we can't see it, but we
but it's
see
all
it.
good. Anyway, so that's our bet this week. Hey, I want to thank everybody for joining us. It was a great conversation this week. I appreciate you fellas for hanging out with me. Matty Ice, you my man,
and I am leading in our week 1 of our fantasy draft.
It's a game tonight.
Oh yeah, you got a couple players. No, I still think I'll be leading unless your players just go off. I still come out. But yeah,
I'll watch.
You got some players playing tonight.
Yeah, I'll see. And our fans. So you leading right now. So the first week you want to be excited about that, huh?
No, I'm just so we gotta. I just want to keep track of it, right? We supposed to keep track of it every week.
You're right. All right, but I feel like it was extra incentive to bring it up this week. You know what I'm saying? Like you wanted to.
Even if I was down, I would have brought it up. I would have just got, what I mean.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Well, I appreciate it. Trey, you still there, man?
He put a comment in the chat that I guess it's a loud environment.
Yeah.
Oh shit! All right, I must have missed that. I see it in the private joint. All right, yeah. All right. Well, anyway, all right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and do the shout out for Trey. Thank you, Trey, for joining us. You can catch him on the Just Us podcast. Apparently, he in water partying and stuff like that. But I get it. I appreciate you for joining us, hanging out in the car and didn't get snatched up.
Yeah, people getting locked up.
That could have been. I don't know if that's actually Trey. That could have been a person snatching them, just giving an excuse. So, but we, I'll check. Hey, brother, I'll check out for you tomorrow morning. Make sure you're good and still alive or not been taken, in ward off. I want to thank you. I want to thank everybody who joined us, who followed us. So apparently we probably had more people watching than I knew. Because I guess the Facebook joint didn't show, but I'll fix that by next time we do another live joint. Sergeant Garrett, it's always a pleasure to have you come join us and hang out with us. I definitely appreciate all the insight that you've given us and everything you've done. All right, we got Trey Wiz back. You want to give your own shout outs, Trey Wiz, before we get off? Maybe not. You there, Trey? No? All right, I'm keeping moving. All right, Sergeant Gary, you got anything coming up that you wanna bring up or anything going on? Because I know we still waiting on our book.
I know.
And there better be a section where you shoot out our podcast in that book too. I'm sorry. I mean, I don't want to sound like I'm threatening, but
I know, right?
I feel like it should be something there.
Look, I feel threatened. Nah, Still working on it. I'm hoping to get some traction, and by the end of the year is what I'm looking at. But what I'm actually in the project or in the process of building is I'm trying to start something with my son. My son is 15, and a lot of the young kids, especially our kids, our young men, they feel terrified to live their life and to start living their life because they fear that they don't have what it takes to make it. So they become what I call electronic monks, where they will just go and just play video games face down, not living their life. So I'm trying to start a project with my son to help him gain confidence in himself and just talk about some things that they struggling with and to help build them up. So more to come on that. Well, look, when I do what I need to do and I make my moves, I'm gonna let you know. I'm gonna let you know so we can collaborate. But
All right.
I'm really hoping for big things with that.
Hey man, hey, I'm always here, brother. I appreciate every time I call that you answer, and I'm just excited for whatever it is that you do next and all that good stuff. Matty Ice, you got any events or anything coming up soon? You're
We got a
muted.
few things going on. This Sunday, we'll be out at the Commander Stadium, now Northwest Stadium, doing the tailgate event out there in the parking lot before the game and during the game. So if pull up on us if you're going to the Commanders game this Sunday. And then other than that, we got a few festivals and some different things, and you can always come visit me at the store, man. Wednesday through Saturday, somebody's in the store to grab some ice cream and some Pearl, 6375 Old Branch Avenue. You can follow us at Matty Ice and Cream on IG or Wealthy and Blessed. You know what I mean? On wealthyandblessed.com and Wealthy and Blessed on IG as well.
All right. And make sure you ask for that dad mentality discount, which is 0%. But we can make that happen for you. Just come on in and support, love, give some shout outs. Get some shout outs. Make sure you buy his wife O makes some bracelets and things like that. You can get in there too. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to O. Love it. She also made this for me, my dad mentality cup but that's a special order. So you
She
gotta
got some
make sure.
cups and tumblers inside the store as well.
Okay. So shout out to that. Hey, I want to thank y'all fellas again for joining me. Trey Wiz, Just Us, Sergeant Garret, Matty Ice. I hope that this helps somebody out there, and life is good, man. God bless. Good night.